Hi folks, Brian Hollock from North Point Training Center. So we're back again. This one's gun myths, and in this episode what we're going to talk about is the small compact revolvers as being the ideal guns for ladies. And usually goes something like this. Husband and wife are coming to the shop after a day of at the range, and they want to look for a gun that might be suitable for the wife. And 99% of the time, the idea behind it is it's going to be a gun for personal defense at the home, not for carry. And the husband will look at the wife and say, "Hey, honey, isn't this perfect for you? It's nice and tiny and light." And she looks at it and she pretty much agrees with him. Yeah, they are. They're nice and they're tiny and they're light. They feel good in the hand. And, frankly, for those people who were raised on, television westerns, they seem like they make a lot of sense. They work well. You just pull the trigger and they work every single time. The problem is these guns aren't really designed for beginners. The kickback to say it's like a tiger by the tail is kind of putting it lightly. And the reality of it is they're not really designed for people who don't have experience with firearms. The sights on them are fairly rudimentary. The triggers on them are fairly heavy. These guns were originally designed to be backup or deep concealment guns for police detectives. They were not designed for the casual user. And here we are with your significant other, and you're going to tell her that this is the perfect gun for her when maybe she goes to the range once a year with you. And especially for a home defense gun. As a home defense gun, you don't need a little tiny light gun like this. Get a gun with a full grip that you can get a full firing your whole hand around. Here on this LCR, my pinky's got to come down here underneath it, and actually it's got a pretty robust grip as far as a lot of these guns are concerned. They're not very user-friendly for practice. You're going to find them to be tiring. The trigger pull is very, very difficult, especially if you don't have good hand strength. And a lot of people gravitate towards revolvers because they're told, well, I don't like working those clip thingies. The magazines are too difficult to work on a semi-auto. Most women can be taught to work a semi-automatic handgun very easily, very quickly. And we don't really, or we shouldn't really be picking guns for the ladies in our lives. What we should be doing is encouraging them to come to the range and trying out guns themselves and figuring out what fits them good, and then sending them for proper training to learn how to use that particular platform. They really shouldn't be using our guns, the guns that we enjoy as men, especially if we've got some years of experience under our belt, and that's the reason we're able to use our guns effectively. So we really want to try to educate the public. These guns are not good guns for beginners. Certainly the little old lady syndrome, we also get that sometimes in the shop. Somebody will come in, bring grandma in. Grandma's looking for a gun. Oftentimes she has arthritic hands and is told this is a good gun for her. And because it's light, the selling pitch makes sense. The problem is it's the trigger pull. She's never going to be able to manage it. And then the recoil, gosh, it's just going to hurt. She's never going to want to practice with it. So all the way around, this is really a bad option for beginners. Now, I'm not saying these are bad options for concealed carry. If you train hard, these can be excellent guns. One of our instructors actually trains very, very hard with this type of weapon. He's phenomenal with it. He can shoot it every bit as accurately as folks shooting full-size 1911s with good sights. But he trains hard to do that, and most casual users of firearms are not going to do that. We recommend something that's going to be easy in terms of felt recoil, easy to manage, a good Glock 19, an XD, a Smith & Wesson M&P. All of those guns are excellent service autos. They'll be very, very useful for home defense. And if you get something in, say, a 9mm, it doesn't recoil very much, be fun to come to the range and practice, and you're not going to get beat up doing it. So for this episode of Gun Myths, I'm Brian Hollock from North Point Training Center.